Thanks for tuning into the NBA here on 2K Sports Thursday Hoops. It's the Detroit Pistons going up against the Toronto Raptors. And with the opening tip on the way, let's head out to Toronto and join our broadcasting team of Kevin Harlan, Clark Kellogg, and Steve Kerr.
Big money to attract the executive of the year, and
so off the tip, it's Toronto. Lowry kicks to Hansbrough. DeRozan passes to Lowry. Back to DeRozan. Rodney Stuckey pulls it in. You know, with the new leadership here in Toronto, perhaps a change for the better for a team that's only made the playoffs, Steve, 5 times in its 18-year history.
The new general manager is very well respected around the league. He's done a great job in Denver, and now a chance to turn this Toronto franchise around. And remember, Kevin, this is one of the best fan bases in the NBA. These fans love their team. I think this is kind of a sleeping giant. That's like a layup for him. He's just wide open out there.
Jennings against Lowry. Fires the 3. And Rodney Stuckey the bucket on the assist from Brandon Jennings.
The rapid-fire threes coming from everywhere.
I thought it might be a little improved to try to get those points right back, but it worked.
Stupendous rush to the rim and a mighty slam on the end of it.
But through the teeth of some pretty soft D, I can't help but say that.
Well, let's see how that impacts things here, because those kinds of plays sometimes can be game changers on both sides.
Stuckey drives inside. Jennings dishes to Smith. Out to Stuckey. 3-pointer. The shot no good. Now Toronto takes it the other way.
Well, an interesting revelation regarding Rudy Gay came out recently. I mean, he's had vision issues for years and refused to wear corrective lenses, contacts, or goggles. That might explain why a player with such a great looking stroke would struggle with his shooting percentages from outside.
Tipped away. Stuckey gets to Jennings. Back to Stuckey. Shot clock at 5. Throws it up high. And Drummond throws it down.
Incredible timing on the alley-oop.
He absolutely hammered it down.
And that's the play we're going to remember when this game is all said and done.
The Raptors have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Clark, you talked about Rudy Gay declining to wear contact lenses. Steve, that doesn't seem to make any sense to me.
Well, there's got to be a good reason for it, and I haven't talked to Rudy about it. But look, I mean, every player has to be comfortable out on the floor. So either wear goggles or wear contacts or don't wear anything at all. I mean, whatever is comfortable, that's the most important thing.
No good on the free throw.
And, coming into the league out of Lithuania, Valanciunas, his reputation was more of a pick-and-roll big man, not the most skilled in the post, but he's starting to show some impressive moves. With his back to the basket.
And the second free throw, good. Going back to Valanciunas, a good foul shooter for a 7-footer, almost 80% in his rookie season.
That's why this team values him so highly. He's very skilled for a big man. He can spread the floor. And then when you add in his rebounding and what seems to be a good work ethic and passion for the game, Valanciunas has a chance to be special.
Smith for three, and that one's good. Smith's got 5 now.
They're off and running. Good start here. They've knocked down 4 of their first 5.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Kevin, thank you. I spoke to the Pistons head coach for just a bit, and he said a big factor in this game will be how well they're able to handle Kyle Lowry. He admitted being a fan of his game, saying he's a tough athletic guard who really competes. Defense, rebounding, attack the paint, he'll take it to you. We've got to be ready to match his motor and his aggressiveness. Kevin, are they up to it?
All right, Doris, thank you very much. Jennings passes to Smith. It's back to Jennings. Rodney Stuckey on the wing. A 3-ball and another 3 for Detroit.
This looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the threes they're allowing.
Yeah, I don't know, Park. I think there might be even more defensive warm-ups. I mean, this is kind of embarrassing.
Well, Detroit has always been one of those teams you think of when it comes to franchises that epitomize the rough and tough Eastern Conference. Always look to be a tough defensive team, and they might not have the flashiest players, but they have some of the toughest, no doubt.
That is good. Lowry's got his first points in this one. Now here's Stuckey. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on DeMar DeRozan. That is his first foul of the game. And Clark, as you said, the Pistons were strong against the rest of the East last year. Didn't give away too many games, and 25 of their 29 wins came against Eastern opponents.
Yeah, they took advantage of the weaker conference for sure, but it just shows you how much growth they have ahead of them, because in order to get to the playoffs, they're going to have a good record against the West as well.
Now here's Bynum, and it's DJ Augustine with the foul. That's his first foul. Charlie Villanueva's checked in for Josh Smith. Augustine against Bynum. Leads him in there. And that's out of bounds. Detroit will retain possession. Phillips, double team. Just 3 to shoot. Nice D from Richardson.
You see the defenders get out of his way a lot of times when it's on his way to the bucket, but not that time.
And, for Raptors coach Dwayne Casey from last season, he's wanted to improve the rim protection inside. Now with a little more size, you add Valanciunas, and hopefully the pieces are in place for Casey to build a winning team in Toronto.
Poked away. Bynum dishes to Villanueva. Bynum kicks to Yaremko. Back to Bynum. The pass to Mitchell. Feeds it to Billups. Billups off the pick from Mitchell. Billups in by Augustine. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And when you look at this Raptors team, they have size and athleticism, Steve, certainly capable of defending well.
Yeah, they do have the talent to be good defensively. Some length on the perimeter. I think Valanciunas is an interesting player with defensive capability. So this is a club that has the potential to be pretty good at that end of the floor.
The first one falls.
You know, the Raptors really struggled against the rest of the conference last year, only going 22-30. And that certainly doesn't put any fear in the opponents. They're looking to improve on that this season.
And so Billups nails both of them. Well, back to the Raptors, I would expect them to end up with a better win total against the East this year, as they have seemed to, Steve, found a bit of their identity at the end of the season.
Well, they made some dramatic changes in the middle of the year, trading for Rudy Gay, and I think ultimately it might be for the best, as they seem to play with more bite as the season wore on. They had more edge, a little more talent, so now they have to put it all together.
Passes it to Bynum. He feeds it to Uredko. It's stolen by Johnson. And Augustine kicks to Johnson. Detroit with the rebound. Here's Bynum, looking for his first basket still in this one. Augustine with the steal. And here's the fast break. Richardson leading the way. Pistons leading by 5. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Bynum the pass to Mitchell. Some solid defense from Richardson.
Well defended. I mean, he's not someone who responds well to that kind of defensive pressure.
Novak outside. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. Here's Billups. Can't hit. And we reach the end of the first quarter. It's Detroit. They lead by 5. We'll be back shortly live from the Air Canada Center in downtown Toronto. To get underway. Let's take a moment here to get your guys' take on scoring for the Pistons.
Well, they've definitely had the hot hand from the three-point line so far. Always nice to start out like that.
They've been distributing the ball really well tonight, too. I mean, a decent number of assists so far for them.
Never easy to come back from a torn Achilles, but Chauncey Billups did a pretty nice job of doing so last year after the Achilles shelved him for most of the 2011-12 season.
Raptors trailed by 5. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris.
Well, Kevin, Toronto has usually been on the wrong end of free agency in the past, but DeMar DeRozan doesn't understand it. He says of Toronto, quote, "It's a great city. It's really diverse. The culture's great. The fan base is great. They might not be getting any big free agents, but DeMar might be working on that, guys."
He certainly is. Thanks, Doris. And going back to Chauncey, he played 22 games last year, but it was amazing he was able to come back at all.
And Kevin, it helped that he was on a team where he almost never had to be the primary ball handler. That would have put a lot more pressure on that Achilles. But even though he moved okay, his numbers were down, and you have to wonder how many more years he has left.
And here's Billups, following the 3 from Rudy Gay. Billups kicks to Caldwell Pope, and stolen by Kyle Lowry. Here's the lob to the hoop. Oh, and the jam by DeRozan.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal, all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
It feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
Billups, no good.
Boy, that's a surprising miss right there. He usually feasts on those wide open opportunities. One of the problems for the Pistons last season was they always seemed to come out after halftime flat. Just couldn't sustain the kind of intensity and focus needed to win consistently. That was a big part of why they had such a tough year.
And the Pistons making a change here. Andre Drummond's checked in for Villanueva. Monroe comes in for Uredko. Rodney Stuckey's checked in for Caldwell Pope, and it's Jennings in for Chauncey Billups.
That's foul number 2 on him. It might not warrant sitting in entirely, but another one before halftime, they could be in some trouble.
Jennings again, 12. Jennings with the ball. Now the feed to Stuckey. And it's off the back rim, no good. Now going back to the Pistons, the third quarter for them was by far their worst scoring quarter. Several points lower than any other quarter they played in, and with the sample size you get over the course of a season, that is no accident.
Well, you know, what you think about now with a team like this is that if it's young, maybe they're not used to the tweaks and the adjustments that other teams are making happen over the halftime break. So this is an area for improvement for this Detroit team.
Josh Smith, he's checked in for Detroit. Raptors trailed by 5. Quarter number 2, we're about 2 minutes in. Ross gets the low. Pass to Hansbrough. It's taken away by Smith. And here is Stuckey. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Last season, a hard one for Stuckey. Pistons finally shifted him back to his natural shooting guard position. A lot of people thought he would break out, but instead, he had his lowest field goal percentage and scoring average since his rookie season.
The end of last season, Rodney Stuckey finally seemed to get untracked.
Well, I tell you, early in his career, I really liked his potential. He's got tremendous talent. A strong slasher who can get to the line. Those are the kind of players who can usually be relied upon to produce buckets. We'll see how he bounces back.
Amir Johnson's checked in for Tyler Hansbrough. And so Stuckey nails both of them.
Detroit really is one of the younger teams in the league as far as their core and future are concerned. It's always nice to kind of think, what might they become going forward? But they are going to struggle at times, especially on the road.
Now here is Lowry. Jennings with the steal. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Stuckey. That falls. Great assist by Brandon Jennings. 7 points for Rodney Stuckey.
I'd say that shot was well within his range.
You think so? I mean, I was pretty good from 2 feet and in myself. That's a gimme there.
Here is Ross. Ross gets a screen from Valenciunas. Tries to keep it alive. And so it looks like the Raptors will retain possession here. And Doris Burke has some force. Hey, Doris.
Kevin, Josh Smith was an impressive big-name free agent signing for the Detroit Pistons, a team who tied for the 7th worst record in the league last season and 3rd worst in fan attendance. A bit of a surprising choice for Smith, who had said that fan support would be a big factor in his free agency decision and also stated that winning was all he cared about. Kevin, his quote, shot at the title may still be a ways away, but $56 million over 4 years isn't chump change, and he will make this team much better. Back to you.
He's become the face of the franchise, Doris. Thank you. Pistons did have big problems getting wins on the road, and that's one of the reasons why the fans were a bit frustrated. Steve, they just couldn't finish off games when they were the road team.
Yeah, that's right, Kevin. Just 11 and 30 away from the Palace. And, you know, when you're a young team, it takes a lot of mental toughness and growth to be able to close out games on the road. It's something they're still learning.
The Raptors making a switch here. Novak's checked in. Lowry dishes to Ross. Smooth as silk on the finger roll.
A little touch of class there, guys. The end of that play with the finger roll.
Power timeout called by Detroit. Both coaches get a chance here to review the strategy at this point of the game, along with the discussions. Also some rehydration going on with Gatorade. Everyone trying to bring their top game here tonight.
Yeah, that's why you see the trainers going around to every player, making sure they're hydrated, they're getting enough to drink during the game. It's so important to hydrate yourself and keep yourself strong and ready to play for these big minutes down the stretch.
Most of the time, that shot will go down. Well, the defenders have to make sure they tag.
And stolen by Drummond. Now Jennings. Now the dish to Smith. Smith drawn the double team. Jennings. It's good, the assist that time from Smith. And it's 6 points for Brandon Jennings.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
Yeah, I think that's what's keyed this run, Clark, because they're keeping the ball moving. Defense hasn't been able to set up.
Now here's Gay. He's got 6. 6 to shoot. Outside for Lowry. Count the bucket. Lowry's got his second bucket of the night.
The shots are starting to fall a little bit more than they did in the first quarter.
Yeah, they say it's not how you drive, it's how you arrive in golf. Well, the shaky start can be overcome because now they're starting to heat up.
And the foul called on Terrence Ross. That's his first foul. Here's Smith. He has 7. He kicks it to Stuckey. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Back to Smith. He dishes it to Jennings. 4 on the shot clock. Detroit needs to get off a shot. Second chance shot. Ross grabs the board. Raptors trail by 10. And it's Lowry penetrating. Good.
And they're beginning to fall apart a little bit defensively, especially inside.
Well, that's 4 straight buckets now at the rim.
And Toronto making a change here.
Lowry is a feisty, quick, strong point guard, Kevin, and he's a very aggressive defender, gets a lot of steals, and then offensively, I love the way he's developed his long-range shot. That's something he couldn't do well when he first entered the league, but now he's a big-time three-point shooter.
And he's also a pretty good defender who really presses up and gets into people. He creates steals and forces turnovers, and that to me is part of what makes him special, utilizing that quickness and strength to disrupt things defensively.
Nice shot by Smith.
You got to like his shot selection today. He set a good example for the rest of his teammates.
Lowry kicks to DeRozan. Back to Lowry. And again, no good by Toronto.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound category. They've got to continue their work on the glass.
Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. I mean, they're on the right side of the ledger, and that is all that matters to them right now with the lead they have.
Now, here is Monroe. He's had some playing time, but no score yet from him. 6 on the shot clock. Stuckey working against DeRozan. From 17 feet out. Here's Drummond. And you know that's going to be goaltending, guys. That's a free basket right there.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
And you can hear the reaction of the fans to that call.
Well, it's obvious they did not like it, Steve.
Now, here is Lowry. Gay drives in. And that concludes the first half. Pistons lead by 11. We'll be back shortly live from the Air Canada Centre in downtown Toronto.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Thursday is always a great night for basketball on 2K Sports, so let's look back at first half action. Detroit up on top against Toronto. They've been tremendous defensively, and that's how you lock a team down. Rodney Stuckey making the most of his minutes. At the break, 7 points, and is also sharing the ball, picking up assists as well. hanging tough. The Toronto Raptors. They've given up a ton of offensive rebounds, just not putting forth enough effort to clean the glass. Kyle Lowry making his presence felt early. He's got 7 points, and as usual, he's been handing out a lot of assists. That will be all for us. Thanks for stopping in. We'll see you next time.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Everybody, third quarter just about to get going here. In one hand has been so far a runaway game.
Yeah, I think the Raptors need to change their strategy against Smith.
He has 9 points and 1 steal as well. The Raptors have been in the rebuilding process for a while now, and even though they still didn't crack the postseason, they were able to do something they haven't done in several years. Win more than they lose here in Toronto.
And it might seem like such a small accomplishment, but going back to what you said, Clark, about the Raptors, but they are a young team, and it takes small steps like that to climb up the standings, Steve, you know, this year to year.
Yeah, no question. I mean, unless you have a once-in-a-lifetime or at least once-in-a-generation type player in the draft, you have to do it with smaller steps, and that's what the Raptors are trying to do.
You know, it appeared to be another season where the Raptors would be near the bottom of the league, but while the terms rock bottom and embarrassing floated around, they made some moves and were able to go on a run to climb towards the middle of the pack.
Good on both. Well, we all know the trade for Rudy Gay, the major move coming last season for the Raptors. They were able to get a look at the playoff scenario at times. And, you know, Steve, it looked like they were much more competitive down the stretch.
Yeah, this is a team that has struggled the last few years, but I think that spark near the end of the regular season gives them hope. And now it's time to start that climb, get back into the playoffs, and continue to build and become an excellent NBA franchise, because they have the potential to do so.
A shot by Gay. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. Pistons leading by 13. Got a piece of it. It's stolen by DeRozan. Lowry kicks to DeRozan. Good.
Another bucket in the paint. That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
I think it's time to make some adjustments defensively, Mark. I mean, what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
And how about the work last season from the free throw line? He shot about 83%.
Yeah, those were fine numbers he posted at the line. It was hard to find fault with anything he did from the stripe.
Free throw is off from DeRozan.
You know, after the Rudy Gay trade sent Jose Calderon, Kyle Lowry said that now the Raptors were his team. And while that might be debatable, he's clearly got the talent to run a team at the point guard position.
Back to Kyle Lowry, a good passer, also an amazing rebounder for a 6-foot-tall guard.
He's physical, doesn't mind throwing his weight around. He's confident. You can see how aggressive he is offensively, always looking to draw contact and get to the free throw line.
The first free throw is good.
You know, if you're not a big, strong guard in the NBA, it can be tough going in the paint. But for Brandon Jennings, he's got that floater in the lane. That's what's allowed him, despite his slight frame, to be able to score in the paint.
Terrence Ross is checked in for Toronto. And Jennings drops them both. And, you know, going back to Jennings, so incredibly explosive. He can really start getting to the lane.
Yeah, but, you know, he struggled finishing at the rim. Some of that because of his size. Not really a physically imposing guy. Developing that floater and learning to avoid NBA shot blockers is something that he has to continue to develop.
Now, Jennings, following Rudy Gay's three-point attempt. It's back to Jennings. Shoots the three. It's hauled in by the Raptors. A decent amount of time left as they try to find a way back into it.
Not time to panic yet, guys.
Steve?
Well, it will be soon if they don't cut into this lead quickly.
And it's Rodney Stuckey with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Some changes for Toronto. Jonas Valanciunas, he's checked in. first minute and a half of basketball here in the third quarter. Outside Lowry. DeRozan. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way.
You know, the only tough part of that basket for him was getting into such good position. The rest of it seemed easy.
He's 0 of 1 from the line, missing on his first trip.
Well, you take a look at DeMar DeRozan out of USC, just signed a really big contract recently, and I love his size and athleticism at the two-guard position. And he came into the league as a guy who could finish inside, and despite the criticism he's received, I think he's really grown as a consistent perimeter shooter as well. This is a tough matchup for just about every other two-guard in the league.
Pistons leading by 10. Doubled by DeRozan. And it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way.
That's a poor possession. You just give away the ball with a sloppy pass.
Lowry against Jennings. Always going up for the alley-oop here. And Hansbrough sums it in.
Really hard to decide, guys, which was better, the pass, the catch, or the slam.
Clark, there's no wrong answer to that one, my friend. Sensational alley-oop all the way around.
Agreed. All of the above.
And going into last... Oh!
Look out!
Even when they're down, he's still looking to do the spectacular. And he pulled it off.
Well, maybe this is the best time to do it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, now's when they need a little spark anyway.
Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Lowry against Jennings. It's stolen by DeRozan. For the finish, the fast break ends at the rim with the jam.
Well, when they desperately needed to get things turned around, they were able to do it, claw their way back in.
And they fed off their defense just as much as their offense in putting this run together.
Now here's Jennings. 8 points for him. And Drummond kicks to Stucker. Shot clock at 6. Smith outside. Jennings. No good. They had a chance to end the run there.
3 straight misses here to start the second half.
Great offensive performance they're putting on.
You see the benefit of knocking down baskets consecutively because it leads to the confidence growing and growing, doesn't it, Steve?
It sure does, and now it's to the point where they just feel unstoppable.
For Toronto, they had made 3 of 5 free throw attempts. And the first one drops.
Well, you know what, guys? DeMar DeRozan said he watched a lot of tape of Dwayne Wade working on the low block, learning to pass out of double teams and attack weaker defenders. That's definitely an area he can exploit in his own game.
And the Pistons making a change here. Bynum's checked in. Both free throws good from DeRozan. And for
last season he significantly improved his assist-to-turnover ratio, and that's exactly what you want to see out of your shooting guards, because even though they're not playmakers as point guards, shooting guards are handling the ball too and making plays.
Jennings against DeRozan, and Drummond throws it down.
That was one huge shot as they try to hang on to this lead.
Well, they're seeing it slip away right now, Steve. They desperately need to jumpstart their offense again.
Now here's DeRozan. 13 points in the game. Kicks to Valanciunas. Pass to Fields. Some nice ball movement here by the Raptors. Mar DeRozan on the wing. He's guarded by Jennings. Fades away. Rebound by Craig Monroe. Monroe's got his 3rd rebound on the night. And he lobs it up toward the rim. Ball's not loose.
The alley-oop is such a fun play to watch, but when it doesn't convert, it's probably the wrong choice.
I guess that makes that one a terrible choice. Tyler Hansbrough, a physical player, came out of North Carolina, is really good at drawing fouls in bunches, even in limited playing time.
And for Hansbrough, a low career field goal percentage for a big man, but his free throws help make up for that in a way.
Yeah, he's a guy who's just going to put his head down and try to create contact, get to the line, find some garbage points around the basket. But he's an energy guy and someone you love having coming off the bench because of the spark he can provide when he enters the game.
And the Pistons making a change here. Hansbrough hits them both.
The story in the first half was their low free throw percentage. They've corrected that here in the second half, and hopefully they can build on it as this game continues to progress.
And the shot is good. 9 points for Rodney Stuckey.
You gotta love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of grinded out physical game.
Yeah, that was your game, Clark. Pound it inside and take the ball right to the defense.
That's what I tried to do, man. I knew my limitations.
The drive-by game. 9 feet out. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Gates got 8.
You know, he'll make you scratch your head and throw your hands up as a defender. I mean, you just don't know how to play.
And it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way. A different look here for Detroit. Monroe comes in for Andre Drummond. And it's Caldwell Pope in for Josh Smith. Augustine kicks to Richardson. This is it to Augustine. He passes it to Day. Gay defended by Caldwell Pope. Rudy Gay on the way. He's got 8. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
Well, you know, the rumors started early last season, and they never went away. Eventually, it all came to a head when Rudy Gay was traded to the Raptors, ending his tenure with the Grizzlies in what was an interesting move, to say the least.
That's good from Gay. And for Rudy Gay in Toronto, not a team that's been as competitive as the Grizzlies, but possibly a better fit, perhaps, for his talents.
I think maybe because they run an up-tempo, kind of spread-the-floor type of offense, and a team that didn't really have a dominant interior scorer anyway. So Gay is going to be relied on heavily by Toronto, and he's going to have to play to live up to that big contract.
More freedom to operate, perhaps, too.
I think so.
And it's tied up with that one. Here's Billups. .51 seconds left in the third. Stuckey outside. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
Stuckey's been putting up the number. 9 points, and he's also got 1 block to add to the mix today.
Yeah, it's just a small part of what's been a solid overall contribution by him defensively.
Free throw, good, Stuckey. Jonas Valanciunas, who's checked in from Amir Johnson. So he gets them both.
They got to keep fighting their way to the line, guys. This half has been nothing but success for them there.
And their confidence has to just continue to go up the longer the perfection continues.
Now here is Augustine. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Gay. And the go-ahead bucket, no good.
More good work on the glass there. When it's all said and done, I think rebounding might well tell the story in this one.
And that should tilt things toward them. I mean, they've been winning that battle.
Pistons passing it around. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for two.
And the defense looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Yeah, I like that. A foul to save the layup. They can earn it at the line.
The Pistons haven't made a mistake at the line yet. 10 of 10.
Well, you look at last season's numbers, guys. Down below 70% as a team from the line.
And, you know, there was plenty of blame to go around for that. I mean, it wasn't just one or two guys. I mean, for the most part, the entire team struggled.
That one is off. So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. That trip coming up empty. Missing both. Toronto, they've gone a solid 6 of 11 when shooting here in the third quarter. Lowry with the ball. 7 points in the game. Back to Richardson. That ball's nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry. Lowry's got 9 assists in the game. Great passes. 3 quarters of play in a close game here. The Raptors out in front, up by 1. We'll be back short. I'll let you take eyes on the whistle sticks for the Raptors.
Boy, defensively, they've played with a high energy level, guys, and all the steals we've seen, really a result of that aggressiveness.
Another factor here tonight has been the amount of points they scored off turnover.
And throw the pass to Lowry. DeRozan in 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. It's going to be on Chauncey Billups.
Shooting for Toronto, DeMar DeRozan. 2 shots.
First free throw is good.
You know, they've really improved at the line from the first half. Things have gotten a lot better. They've gotten there a good number of times, and they've converted a high percentage of them.
Rodney Stuckey's checked in for Detroit. Both free throws good from DeRozan. Pistons trailed by 3. Stuckey tries inside. Singler. Singler right side. Smith outside. That one off the back iron and out. The Raptors shooting well. 50% from the floor. And it's good. Good contact. It's the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
That was a tough layup with a guy right on him. Good defense, but better offense.
The Pistons making a change here. Monroe's checked in. Free throw drops for Lowry. And here is Drummond. And stolen by Kyle Lowry. The pass to Hansbrough. Feeds it to Lowry. The dish to DeRozan. He's guarded by Stuckey. Now DeRozan. Shot from 16. Valanciunas inside. Monroe on him. And the dunk by Valanciunas.
Well, coaches love him because of the hustle he's continually showing out on the floor. And I think where you really see it most is on the offensive board.
And something else you can't forget about is his shot blocking, Steve. I mean, he's an intimidator down low. And the lead just grows on that ridiculous offensive sequence.
You know, Clark, that dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Yeah, that just added more to it.
Yeah, what a beautiful connection on that play.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Well, Kevin, head coach of the Pistons had some words for his team over the break. He was emphatic. We're not getting it done, fellas. We've simply got to step up, get engaged, and try to battle back. Guys, we'll see if the pep talk gets him going.
It's stolen by DeRozan. An even 3-on-3 break. That's good. And now a 12-point Raptor lead.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
So you got to make a defensive adjustment here, Clark. Time to collapse inside, force the ball back out in the perimeter, make them beat you from long range.
Chauncey Billups checked in for Brandon Jennings. A little over a minute and a half of the fourth quarter gone.
I love the flow that they've been playing with offensively tonight. This is an impressive performance.
Well, and that lead they have just continues to grow and grow.
Smith, hands throw defender. Smith's shot is good.
You know, he's knocking down his shots today, but it hasn't really translated to the scoreboard yet.
And we're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter now. They set the pick. And it's Lowry penetrating. Pocket 6. Top DeRozan. He's guarded by Stuckey. Gay can't hit.
If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch this lead out.
And stolen by Kyle Lowry. And stolen by Stuckey. And here comes Smith, leading the fast break. That one a little long. Latrey. And there's Lowry. That's good on the assist from DeRozan. And that's 13 points for Kyle Lowry. Phillips against Lowry. Again, the miss by the Pistons. Toronto with the ball. They've gone on a 16-2 run, not allowing much. There's the three. No luck. And Detroit the other way now. Stuckey kicks to Billups. And it's going to be a goaltending call here, so they'll count the bucket.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
Well, you can tell what the crowd thinks about that call.
Yeah, they erupted as soon as the whistle blew.
And here's Toronto. They're on a 16-4 run right now. Look at the clock. A little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. Gay dishes to DeRozan. 6 to shoot. The shot. Again, Toronto. Now here's Billups. Stuckey outside. Passes to Monroe. Back to Stuckey. He feeds it to Monroe. He trains it as the shot clock ticks down. Deflects the pass. And so it looks like the Raptors will retain possession here. There's 1:54 left here in the fourth quarter. Gay passes to Lowry. Back to Gay. Here's Valanciunas. No good. Good work defensively by Monroe. Pistons trailed by 13. Phillips kicks to Monroe. Stuckey outside. The feed to Drummond. Tries again. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And no question, he got bumped on that shot.
Definitely no room for discussion on that. Well, Andre Drummond, the ninth pick out of UConn in the 2012 draft, he's starting to look like a steal for the Pistons now. Big men with his size and mobility just don't come along very often.
And the first one at the line is good. And back to Drummond, you talk about his size. A lot of young players need to bulk up. You might argue that he should try not to get any bigger. What do you think?
Well, he's 6'11", 280. I mean, he's not getting overpowered by anybody. So for him, I think staying light makes sense. He's only 20 years of age, so trying to stay as agile and light as possible is probably the way to go.
Save some wear and tear on his body.
Yeah. Well, he cut into the deficit a little bit, but not as much as he could have. One miss can make a difference.
Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
Some changes for Toronto. Richardson comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Kyle Lowry. Augustine with the steal. 1:09 left in the fourth quarter. Hansbrough setting the pick for Augustine. Pass to Richardson. And again, Toronto no up. Detroit's gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight. 5 of 12. Phillips kicks to Drummond. Smith outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Phillips. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. And a different look here for the Pistons. Mitchell, he's checked in for Andre Drummond. Urebko comes in for Greg Monroe. Kyle Zingler, he's checked in for Josh Smith. And it's Caldwell Pope in for Rodney Stuckey. Here is Augustine. But they're this close to putting it away.
Yeah, and they don't need to do anything to reinvent the wheel here. I mean, just take time off the clock and squeeze the orange. Don't turn it over.
Hands defended by Urebko. 6 on the shot clock. Hansbrough is screen on single. For the 3. Rebounded by the Pistons. To Caldwell Pope. Drops in the tray.
Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
And he commits the intentional foul. Here's Richardson off target. And so it's Toronto winning this one. Both teams played well, but these guys had the edge.
Yeah, I think so. They were just skate knife sharp. Very on top of their game here.
Well said. And that'll do it for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. And now we present the Jordan Player of the Game, Kyle Lowry.